I was sent a video from a friend recently and it was about Etsy and she was asking me for my opinion. And like any good YouTuber, I thought, I'm going to make a video about that. Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. I am Kim. This is the Coffee and Craft Chat. I'm going to say from the jump, these videos get chatty, okay? Because it's been a while, but fairly recently I received a snarky comment about the fact that I was chatting and not getting to the point. And it's like, my dude, it's called the Coffee and Craft Chat. So just in case, just to avoid any confusion, just in case there is any confusion, the Coffee and Craft Chat is quite literally what it says on the tin. There is coffee in my cup, which FYI, the last time we're going to see the autumn mugs. I love this cup so much. But the next time you see me, I'll be rocking up with my winter cup because we're there already. Anyway, coffee, craft, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And then obviously the chat is going to be about how Etsy is not dying because I feel like we need to add a little bit of balance. And I'm going to talk about the video that I was sent. But first of all, just let me get through my intro, okay? Okay. Fighting with imaginary people. So yes, coffee, craft. Right. This is what I do in these videos. I either craft or I share a craft or what have you. I mean, I can't make it any bloody clearer. Behold my craft. That's actually pretty decent progress, considering last week I only had 2 balls of yarn. I think my sock game is getting strong. I've probably jinxed it. But yes, what do you think? It's the first time I've ever knitted socks with contrasting colours, and it's one of those things that I thought was going to be complicated. And when I did it, I was like, is that it? I've been putting it off for this long for no reason. It's so easy, it's embarrassing. But anyway, I'm unstoppable now. Well, I'm about to do the heel, so we'll see next week. That's the craft, which I was about to put away, but actually I'm going to be crafting as I chat to you. So there you go, coffee, craft, chat, which I think I've actually demonstrated already with this intro. So don't get at me in the comments, okay? I'm a yapper. If you don't like that, bugger off. And for the rest of you, settle in. Welcome. Let's have a little chitty chatty about Etsy, shall we? Now, usually I'm quite critical of Etsy. But to be fair, in my defence, I really do feel that sometimes there is a reason for criticism and there's room for criticism. I do like to think that I give them credit where credit is due. I just haven't felt that much credit has been due recently. However, my friend recently sent me a video, and I do want to emphasise the word friend because if I'm sent links anywhere by people that I don't know, respectfully, I won't open them because I don't know who they're from. I mean, you might be sending them with the best of intentions, but please don't take offence. I just don't open links from people. Sorry. But I know this person in real life, I trust them, and if their link had given me a virus on my computer, I would have thrown something at them. But it was just a video by a creator that I am not going to name because I don't want to send any criticism their way or dogpiling or any of the things. But I wholeheartedly disagreed with their take because their take was that Etsy as a platform was dying and this was the beginning of the end, and it felt very doom and gloomy and unnecessarily so. And that's what I wanted to address. If I thought that take was valid, fair enough, but I do feel like it was unwarranted. So I wanted to offer a little bit of balance. And in case anybody is of the feeling or fear that Etsy is dying and therefore they shouldn't bother with it or their business is going to fail or what have you, I just, again, balance. I mean, Etsy as a platform arguably isn't doing great right now, but I would put it out there that there is no platform out there that is doing great right now. I would put it out there that no one is doing great. This is the time when I get people in the comments going, actually, I think you'll find I'm doing brilliantly. It's like, great, okay. Sometimes I believe these comments and at other times I think, okay, and I can fly. I mean, where do you want to start? We have a plethora of reasons to look at. Here in the UK, I mean, we've definitely been impacted by tariffs and the scrapping of the de minimis rule over in America. Americans themselves have been impacted by this because it's put prices up. They have other things that are putting prices up. Here in the UK at the time of filming today, the autumn budget is due and our government they've been sneaking what do you call it? Leaks, not leaks, but they've been basically testing the waters of this budget with the media for the last few months. And I think it was the Bank of England or someone that basically said, yeah, the reason why the economy is stalled right now is because of that. Great. So yeah, no one's buying, or rather people are buying less and they're being more careful with their money, which is perfectly sensible. And I've been doing that myself. Basically, everything's expensive. We're all going through it. There's a whole storm of things and it's all working at the same time to make things very, very challenging for us, regardless of which platform or platforms you sell on. I also want to point out that sometimes there is no correlation between things going well for sellers, Etsy sellers, and things going well for Etsy shareholders. And sometimes the news that people run with from a seller's point of view is actually through the lens of a shareholder, if that makes sense. Because as an Etsy seller, I have currently no, what's the word I'm looking for? Complaints. I'm not sure I would have that opinion if I was a shareholder though. Basically, the point I'm trying to make is that your success as an Etsy seller is not going to be directly tied to the success of the platform, the company, Etsy itself. There have been times where Etsy as a company has struggled and my shop has done great. And what you've got to remember is that you're concerned with your business and your shop, not what Etsy's doing. They don't care about us, so we don't have to care about them. You know, they're not going anywhere. They exist. They are going to have good times and bad times. We need to just basically maybe sometimes not look so much at the bigger picture. It can be useful to give us hints as to where they're, you know, what direction they want to take the business in. But I do think that sometimes we can get stuck in the weeds with what's going on there. Let them worry about that. We've got enough to worry about as it is. So for my own shop, I'm going to give you this because I think it might maybe add a bit of balance. It's true to say that my traffic has never been lower. Or it has been, obviously, when I first started my shop. But the last few years, it's the worst it's ever been. And I've noticed this specifically since about August, which would coincide with when I lost my US customers. However, weirdly, my sales and my revenue, although it's still low compared to a lot of people because I don't do anything with the platform, they're up. It doesn't make sense. I haven't done anything different with my shop. In fact, I give it very little attention. I haven't listed new items. I haven't tweaked anything. I don't run ads. It's my website that gets all of my attention. So although I do drive my own traffic, it's never to Etsy. So these sales that I'm getting that have increased consistently since August are organic, which kind of flies in the face of the whole Etsy is dying argument, doesn't it? So Etsy isn't dying. What's happening is that buyer behavior is changing for all of the reasons that I mentioned. But I didn't mention one reason, one possible reason. And I think we do need to address this, especially when it comes to YouTube videos as well, because I think you're going to see more of this to and fro of whether Etsy is dying or not coming up in the future. But I do wonder how much of it is down to certain niches kind of peaking on Etsy and maybe other platforms too. And the niches that I'm talking about are ones that Josh Silverman once called low skill, low will. Do you remember that? And they're very, very saturated. And I would argue that during a time when people have less money and are being far more mindful about how they spend that money that they do have, I do think that the low skill, low will stuff, that's a wash on every platform going. It's going to struggle. It's kind of some of these YouTubers have created their own competition. You know, they make videos about how you can make one design, slap it on various things, and then you can use an app to take that generic design and just change it into 20 other designs. And then you can throw them on Etsy, throw ads at them, and then suddenly you'll make thousands of dollars in revenue and stuff. And it doesn't work that way. But I do feel that there was this huge influx of these videos, and I think what we're now seeing is the result of that. So it might also be that you see some niches and some sellers dealing with a very simple problem of supply outstripping demand. I don't think that's the only reason, but I do think that there is a part of that at play here that doesn't get spoken about. But for the rest of us, artists, makers, creators of handmade stuff, Etsy's not going anywhere. It's not dying. I truly believe that. And I just think that we just have to be open to the changing of buyer behavior and constantly adjusting the sales if we can keep up. It's tricky on the platform, but it is tricky on any platform. The grass isn't greener anywhere else. It's struggling to grow everywhere. But I've said this in previous videos and I'll say it again, nothing lasts forever. This won't either. I have no magic answer, unfortunately. I think we just need to hold on tight and just keep adjusting those damn sales. I would really like to not have to do that quite so much in 2026, but we shall see. Thank you for being here to keep me company and keep me sane through all of this, because you do. And I hope that this video has, if nothing else, just offered a little bit more balance to that conversation and maybe even a little bit of hope, because it's not just Etsy, it's anything. If you're selling on a website, if you're selling on social media, if you're making content, video content, any kind of thing, or if you're doing markets or what have you and you're selling one-on-one, you will know it's tricky. It's just tricky times, which is why this community is so important to me. So I'm going to go now. Next week, hopefully I will have a completed heel to show you. And hopefully I'll see you then. Ta-ra.